Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jupiter James and this is Astro Motivation, where I awaken the astrologer within you and aim to give you a little inspiration and motivation per your unique placement within your birth chart. You know, I really do feel that before a time of iPhones and iPads and I this and I that, we were a culture and a society that were better able to look up at the stars and understand exactly where our dreams were and how to get them. And so if that sounds good to you, let's go ahead and get into it. Today we are going to get into a very exciting topic, and that is the top 5 placements that indicate witchiness. You know, my top 5 witchy placements, so that when I'm looking in a birth chart, these are the telltale signs that someone may have a certain witchy je ne sais quoi, or a psychic gift of sorts, okay? And so this video isn't going to quite get into the specifics of those gifts, but it is going to indicate that this person could be a little bit more connected than most, or a little bit more witchier than most, okay? And so if that sounds good to you, let's go ahead and get into it, all right? Now, please note, these are just my top 5 placements. Know that there are hundreds and hundreds of more placements within the birth chart. So if you don't have any of these, I don't want you to give up and, throw your birth chart in the trash can. I want you to still be able to have faith that there is still something in there. The best way to know, of course, is to always, hire an astrologer. Know that I'm available for those things if you wanted me to check out and see what certain gifts you have within your birth chart. But do know that there are tons and tons and tons of different configurations and placements within a birth chart that shows witchiness, or a certain amount of connectivity within the universe, within a person, okay? And so these are just the top 5 that I see that just, ring out to me immediately when I see it in a birth chart, all right? So again, if this interests you, let's go. The first indicator in the birth chart for me is if you are a Scorpio sun. I don't care if you are a Scorpio sun in the 1st house, 10th house, 3rd house, 4th house, this will indicate certain types of gifts and connectivity within the universe or within the person, okay? The person is gonna carry a certain sense of, knowing, and possess a certain sense of mystique to the personality, okay? So I don't care if you're sun in the, or if you have Sun in the 8th house, that's a good one as well, or Leo in the 8th house, right? This is also going to give that certain type of mystique and connectivity to the universe, all right? This person is going to possess certain gifts within the birth chart or within their lives, okay? This is what this would show. They will have an affinity for mysticism. When you are a Scorpio Sun, a Sun or Leo in the 8th house, that would indicate this. Or even if you have like the first lord going into the 8th house, that would indicate this as well, all right? So let me know if you have any of those types of placements. Do you have the Sun in the 8th house? Do you have Leo in the 8th house? Do you have, what else did I name? Do you have the first lord going into the 8th house? Right? In any sign, any configuration, that would indicate this. Do you have, are you a Scorpio sun? It doesn't matter where it falls in the chart. Are you a Scorpio sun? That would indicate witchy placement. You would have a witchy placement there, all right? A witchy type of, je ne sais quoi, as I like to call it, all right? That's the first indicator. The second indicator within the birth chart is within the rising signs, okay? And these specific rising signs will definitely have a certain sense of mystique or affinity for the occult, okay? And this is going to be my Pisces risers, right? Pisces risers are going to be extremely connected. Their heads are always going to be in the stars. They're going to be people who you can't bring them down, and it's because their nebulous type of way of being that they will be somewhat a little bit more connected to the universe or connected to hidden arts, all right? The second one, the second rising sign and my second indicator would be if you are a Scorpio rising, of course, right? That would indicate this. And I'm also going to throw in there if you have Pluto in the 1st house. Pluto in the 1st house is going to give you a certain type of, it's going to be a little bit of a trial and tribulation, but it is going to give you a certain sense of mystique, right? You're going to be a little bit more connected than most. All right, so that is the second indicator within the birth chart. Let me know if you have any of these type of configurations, or if you have something similar. Let me know in the comments below, and I will let you know if that checks out, or if that is something that would indicate a witchy placement, okay? The third indicator within the birth chart is going to be if you have Pisces in the 8th house, okay? If you have Jupiter in the 8th house, or if you have Neptune in the 8th house, this is going to give you quite a connected type of you know, these are the placements. This one is an extreme one because you're putting a mystical sign, a highly spiritual sign of Pisces in a highly mystical house, right? So that's like a double whammy, right? You're also putting like Neptune or Uranus, which is already one of the far out planets, in a very occult house. So this person would have a natural affinity for these placements. Again, this video isn't going to go into quite detail of what those specific gifts are. Let me know if you want a specific video detailing like what certain placements would give a person, right? Because there's all different types of spiritual gifts, right? Or you know, psychic gifts that a person could have, right? And I would love to be able to share those things. Just let me know if you guys are interested in that video. But this video is just more of giving you what those placements are rather than going into too much detail of what they are, right? That would be that. So if you have Jupiter, Neptune, Uranus in the 8th house, or if you have Pisces in the 8th, that's gonna, or Aquarius in the 8th, that's going to be some indicators, all right, of some gifts, of some spiritual gifts, of some witchiness, okay? This person's gonna have an affinity for it. The next indicator within the birth chart is going to be veering away from the 8th house a little bit because the 8th house is a telltale house. If you want to see anything witchy, go to the 8th house, all right? That's just a little tidbit that I'm giving you. But moving away from the 8th house is all about the 12th house. A lot of people sleep on the 12th house. They don't realize that that is quite a mystical house as well. It's the cousin of the 8th house, as I like to call it, right? And so for me, if you have the sun in the 12th house, that's definitely an indicator. This person is going to be very reclusive. They're going to take their reclusiveness and their isolation as their way of connecting to the all that is and seeing themselves, right? And think about it, a lot of witchy people are like that. They like to keep their space, they like to keep their distance, they like to move in an air of secrecy, right? That is the 12th house sun placement. I don't care what sign that sun is in, preferably Scorpio, preferably Pisces, right? But of course, any sun in the sun sign in the 12th house will indicate this, okay? Along with Uranus, Pluto, or Neptune in the 12th house is going to give you some connectivity. You know, I like to call it connectivity. It's all about how much a person is connected, right? There's different degrees of connectivity a person can have, right? And that would indicate how witchy a person is, or how connected a person is, or how the degree of their spiritual gifts will manifest in this life, right? So if you have some of those, you will be a little bit more connected than most, right? The next indicator would be, of course, if you have, let's say, Scorpio in the 12th house. That's that one as well. That's one as well. That's a big one, actually. Oh, and Jupiter. Jupiter in the 12th is going to give this as well. Jupiter in the 12th is going to be someone who's very lucky in this area of life, in their connection with the universe, right? They're almost able to teach others about what they have been able to download from the universe, okay? So that was the placements, all right? Now, here's a bonus one, okay? These are some bonus ones. I'm being very generous. You know me, I love to just give it all to you guys. But Moon in the 8th house is going to give this as well. Moon in the 8th house is going to show that this was inherited from the mom, all right? Like their witchiness, their connectivity was inherited from the mother, or from the more feminine type of guardian within their household. This is what this would show. Moon in the 8th house, right? And it doesn't matter what sign it is in, this is what this is going to show. Another indicator is going to be any of your personal planets like sun, moon, rising, conjunct, or opposite, or aspecting the 8th house. All right, so anything aspecting the 8th house, a planet in the 8th house, conjunct your personal planets like sun, moon, rising, that is going to indicate this as well. Another conjunction would be if Pluto, Uranus, or Neptune is conjunct one of your personal planets, like your sun, your moon, or your rising sign. All right, so let me know if this video was very helpful for you, and also let me know if you want me to now then indicate maybe in a next video what these specific gifts can manifest as, because each one of those planets and configurations that I just named could offer different types of gifts. And before I go, I know there's some people out there, they're like, what about Mercury in the 8th house? I'll throw in Mercury in the 8th house, all right? I'll do that in this video, sure. Mercury in the 8th house can also indicate this as well, right? But that's a very finicky one, but I'll allow it for this certain type of placements, all right? So again, let me know if this helped you. Let me know if you gained some clarity within this. Do you have any of these placements? Let me know in the comments below. And then also let me know if you have anything similar to this. Like if there is something that I've named in this video that is kind of something you have in your chart, let me know in the comments below, and I'll let you know if that checks out within what I would consider as a either a spiritual gift or some witchiness, as people like to call it, okay? Well, you guys have a beautiful day. I will see you another time. Many blessings to you, and have a good one.